Was Taylor Swift's prime just about topping charts, or was it something far bigger? Before the stadiums, before the Grammys, before the spotlight, there was just a girl from Pennsylvania with a guitar. Taylor Swift grew up writing poems and stories, turning her thoughts into melodies. At just 14, she convinced her family to move to Nashville. Most labels turned her down, but rejection didn't break her. It shaped her. Every no pushed her closer to the breakthrough she was destined for. In 2006, she released her self-titled debut. Songs like Tim McGraw and Teardrops on My Guitar captured teenage innocence and heartbreak with honesty. Country radio embraced her, but more importantly, teenagers everywhere found themselves in her songs. It wasn't just music, it was a diary they could sing along to. Taylor wasn't famous yet, but the seeds of her prime were planted. Then came Fearless, the album that turned her into a global superstar. Love Story, You Belong With Me, 15. These weren't just songs, they were teenage anthems. Taylor was only 19, yet her storytelling felt timeless. Fearless became the best-selling album of 2009 and won the Grammy for Album of the Year, making Taylor the youngest artist ever to hold that trophy. Her prime was beginning, and the world was watching. Taylor did something rare. She wrote every song alone. From the regretful Back to December to the magical Enchanted, she proved her pen was just as powerful as her voice. The Speak Now World Tour was a fantasy, with flying stages, glittering gowns, and millions of fans singing along. This wasn't just a career, it was a movement. Then came Red. If Fearless was teenage love, Red was young adulthood. Messy, complicated, and real. Tracks like All Too Well, Begin Again, and I Knew You Were Trouble showed her emotional range. Critics called Red a genre-blending experiment. Fans called it a masterpiece. It didn't win Album of the Year, but history would prove it unforgettable. Red was Taylor at her storytelling best, capturing emotions we couldn't put into words ourselves. 1989. With 1989, Taylor reinvented herself entirely. She shed her country roots and embraced pop. And she didn't just succeed, she conquered. Blank Space, Shake It Off, Style. Every track became a cultural moment. The 1989 World Tour was a global phenomenon, selling out stadiums, bringing surprise celebrity guests, and uniting millions under the sound of Taylor's voice. She wasn't just in her prime, she was at the center of pop culture. After public feuds and media backlash, many thought Taylor's career was over, but she returned with Reputation. Dark, defiant, and unapologetic, it showed a Taylor unafraid of reinvention. Look What You Made Me Do broke streaming records. The Reputation Stadium Tour became the highest-grossing U.S. tour in history. Taylor's prime wasn't just about music. It was about resilience, proving she could rise stronger after every storm. After darkness came color. Lover reminded us of romance, hope, and light. And when the world shut down in 2020, Taylor gave us Folklore and Evermore, albums of quiet reflection, storytelling, and artistry. These weren't stadium anthems. They were fireside whispers that carried us through tough times. Folklore won Album of the Year, making her the only woman to win that award 3 times. Even outside her so-called prime, Taylor was rewriting history. Taylor's prime wasn't just about her songs, it was about her impact. She fought streaming services to protect artists. She reclaimed her masters by re-recording her albums. She inspired countless young women to pick up guitars and write their truth. She reminded the world that music isn't just sound, it's power, it's identity, it's freedom. So what made Taylor Swift's prime so unforgettable? It wasn't just the sales, the stadiums, or the trophies. It was the growth. From the wide-eyed teenager in Nashville to the most powerful woman in music, she showed us that vulnerability is strength and reinvention is survival. Her prime wasn't a single moment. It was every reinvention, every lyric, every connection with a fan. How good was Taylor Swift in her prime? She wasn't just good. She was once in a generation. She was the soundtrack to millions of lives. And even today, when we press play, her prime still feels alive, beating in our hearts, one lyric at a time. Taylor Swift forever in her prime